Starting screen printing your own shirts is fun and exciting. Here at Ryonet, we've helped over 200,000 screen printing journeys start over the past 21 years. Through that time, we found very common pitfalls that new screen printers make, many of which I made myself. So here are the 5 most common mistakes new screen printers make and how you can fix them. Number 1, skipping on frames. Now this is the screen I learned how to screen print on. Check out that tension. That's old, all right? So this is a very common screen that new screen printers start with. You can pick it up in any craft store. Also, not great tension. A screen to your press is like a tire to your car. If you drive on bad or flat tires, you're not going anywhere. If you screen on not great screens, you're not gonna screen print great shirts. So investing in a professional grade, taut screen, even though it costs a little bit more money, is probably your best investment as a new screen printer. And also making sure you got a good scoop coater to make a great stencil on that frame. Second is using the wrong mesh count. A lot of screen printers start on lower mesh counts, allowing too much ink to pass through your screen. Here's an example of screen printing a water-based ink, which is very common to start with through a 110 mesh screen. Using a low mesh like a 110 when you're using thinner ink gives you way too much ink deposit. And here's a really easy way to tell. If you can see ink on your platen, that means you're using too low of a mesh. You're wasting ink, you're not making as good of a print, and it's gonna be harder to cure. Mesh count is measured by how many threads cross per square inch. So the lower your count, like a 110, the more open your holes are. If your holes are too open to hold the ink up and let too much ink through, it's gonna soak through your shirt, making that print not so great, also wasting ink and losing you money. That same ink going through a proper higher 230 mesh screen, which is literally less than half the open size of a 110 mesh, gives you a softer hand print, uses less ink, and overall gives you a higher quality, more retail professional feel. Number 3, neglecting proper print mechanics. Especially when you get to plastisol inks and thicker inks like white, ensuring that you have good off contact, about a nickel's height, ensuring that your ink releases onto the shirt and your screen bounces up, leaving a nice, smooth, soft print. Having proper squeegee angle and pressure, whether you're pulling or pushing your print, and ensuring that you're using sharp squeegees to begin with, gives you a better quality, more retail professional print. Also making sure that your ink isn't coming fresh out of the bucket. You're stirring it and modulating it before use allows that ink to be creamy and lay down much easier through the printing process. Getting your flood down right so that you can literally flood without even having to lift your screen is key. Making sure that when you're printing, all the ink releases out of your screen. Right there, you can see there's ink still left in my screen, meaning that something's wrong. Either my angle's not right or I'm not putting enough pressure. Right here you see, since I have good off contact, all the ink is left from my screen mesh and is on the shirt, giving me a smooth, nice print. The more you practice your pressure and angle, the better you get and the better your prints are going to look. Number 4, not curing your ink properly. A lot of times people start curing with a heat gun, which doesn't give you an overall consistent cure. If you have to cure with a low-cost device, we definitely recommend using an iron with Teflon paper. That way it allows you to get on contact direct 400-degree heat onto your print and ensures a more solid cure. If you have the luxury of using a flash dryer to cure, ensure that the heat from your flash dryer is allowed to penetrate through your entire print surface. Right here, the shirt is stuck to my platen. So if I'm trying to use a flash dryer like this to cure the ink, it's trying to cure the entire platen. I simply remove the shirt from the platen, placing it on top of the platen, and this way the heat is allowed to penetrate through the garment, curing the entire ink film. Using a laser temp gun to ensure that your ink film is reaching the proper degrees on the top of your film is very important. Now, since you're measuring only the surface, typically it's about 20 to 30 degrees higher than the cure point. For standard cure inks, that means it's about 340 to 350 degrees, and for low cure inks, it's 300 and 310 degrees. And number 5, not properly valuing your work. You did a lot of hard work and you spent some money to get here. I've seen a ton of screen printers that buy a shirt for $4 or $5 and just add a couple bucks for the print on top of it. These are premium quality all-made shirts. If someone were to buy this retail on a website, they'd spend many times more of that without the print on it. You need to have enough margin in your print not only to make money at what you love doing right now, but especially if you want to grow and scale this operation into something bigger one day. It's always a good idea to call around and get pricing in your local market so you're not undercutting things and you're giving yourself enough margin to grow. If you're serious about improving your screen printing skills, check out our online courses and hands-on training available at screenprinting.com. Now, if you've run into some other not so fun mistakes in your screen printing journey, drop a comment and tell us about it in the section below. Share this video to somebody else who's starting their screen printing journey so they can avoid these mistakes, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Keep learning and happy screen printing. We're gonna take a while. Smoking! Beep beep.